the objections around election outcomes are starting to pop up. Not so much for the people you're working with now. Instead, it's the folks that you want to be working with in the fall and in Q4. So I'm going to share with you 2 slides that will help you overcome that objection next. If you get some value out of this, you like what you hear, or you need more stuff like this in your business, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team to talk about how we support every single agent on our team to get this information out right away, you can do that with the link in the comments. Election season's here. We've already had an assassination attempt. We've seen a candidate drop out of office for the first time since 1968. And guess what? That makes people nervous. Then you get people like Glenn Kelman from Redfin blaming the election for the housing market being in a funk right now, which is an insane comment. This has nothing to do with interest rates dramatically rising over a short period of time, Glenn. Come on, man. You're better than that. So all this noise is going to be out there. And we've got to battle it and get the truth to people. So I've got 2 slides here you can use from Keeping Current Matters. Big shout out to them. They always put out great data like this. The first is what's happened to home prices the year after a presidential election. So you can look at this here, and there's only 1 year. 7 out of the past 8 presidential elections, there's only 1 year where prices went down, and that was in 2008. And we know what happened from 2008 to 2009. We saw a financial market crash. So you can explain that easily. That's going to make sense for people waiting to sell or buy. So that's slide number 1. Slide number 2 is what happened to home sales during 9 out of the 11 years following a presidential election. Nick's going to put both of these up here. And you can see that only in 1980 to 1981 and 1988 to 1989, after coming off big periods of inflation, did we see home prices go down. So obviously this is something else you can explain. What this is going to show people is that during a presidential election, you usually see sales go up and prices go up. So now you've got the data. How are you going to distribute it? This isn't something you want to wait just to bring up when you're talking to somebody, because there's probably a whole lot of people in your database that are nervous about this stuff. There's more than you think. And again, this is your pipeline later, not so much what's going on right now. So this is a 3-channel distribution. Channel number 1, email. Use a subject line like, are you nervous about the election impacting housing? Or what effect will the presidential election have on housing? And then go through it. Use ChatGPT. Take some copywriting classes. It's not hard writing these emails. And include the slides because they're all sourced. It shows one source is the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the other is the National Association of Realtors. So you've got the email component. Then you want to work out the script for the objection, right? Channel 2 is going to be the objection handler. You got to be ready to talk about this with people. So you're already sending out the email marketing. We've got the objection handler where someone says, hey, I'm nervous about the election cycle, how it's going to impact housing. I'm probably just going to wait. And the response is, hey, can I tell you why that makes me nervous? They'll say yes. And then you go into the script. The script should be something like, we've seen that 7 out of the last 8 presidential elections, we've seen prices go up. The only exception was 2008 to 2009 coming off a financial crash. That obviously made a lot of sense. And we've seen 9 out of the last 11 elections the year after home sales went up, only coming off periods of super high inflation. So you go through that, you show them the data, and then get it back to the motivation. But you want to have this data accessible in your head. You're using email. And the third distribution channel would be video, right? So you could do a video with a green screen, do a green screen Instagram post. You could share it on social media, put it on Facebook. The video could be something you also email out. And if you're seeing here, there's a lot of layers to this stuff. I would look at video, script work, email, text marketing, maybe put it into a blog post on your website. There's a million different things you can do here, but one should be written word, email copy. The second is the objection handler itself, and the third is video. You take all that and you're putting that out there, then you've got to call these people, follow up with them. Obviously, we know that's how this works, especially if you follow me at all. So now you've got a piece of content that has a lot of legs here that's super, super relevant right now. Here's the easy part. I just broke down the game plan for you. I showed you exactly what to do. All you have to do is send out the email, make the phone calls, and make the video. You don't have to rethink it. You don't have to create the content. It's already done. That's where you win because implementation is the game.